Good morning. Thank you so much for joining this morning for our 6 a.m. Pacific time devotional practice using 365 Science of Mind, A Year of Daily Devotion by Ernest Holmes, a book that we are using to inform our moment of contemplation each morning. And I'm so grateful to those of you who are able and willing to share this broadcast, either during it or afterwards. If you're on Facebook, it's very easy. It's also possible to share it from YouTube. There, you can do it in a number of ways. Copy the URL, the address at the top of the browser, or there is a share button. And then that way we can increase the joy of practicing together. It's wonderful to see so many names now that I've become accustomed to expecting in the morning. And that is the nature of practice, familiarity, repeat, do again, do together for expansion. If you're joining us for the first time, please let us know. It's wonderful to have you, and welcome. This morning, on the Kindle version that I'm using, there is a quote from James 1, 22, and it is, "Be ye doers of the word." That's the King James Version. And the whole chapter in James is beautiful in that it invites the community, the early Christian community, to be actively working in their spiritual practice, but to be patient with it also. So I'm going to read James, a part of James, because it's so beautiful. It's one of my favorite. And then I'm going to read the reading for today in twice, once in its exact form and then once in an affirmatively stated form. So that's what we're doing today, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I invite you to breathe in and to relax with me, to get settled. Consider it all a joy, my friends, when you encounter various challenges in life, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance, or in other versions of the Bible it says patience. And let this endurance or this patience have a perfect result in you and perfect you. That's a beautiful thought. Let patience perfect me. And if any one of you feel like you're lacking wisdom to be patient, then ask the living Spirit within, that presence that gives to all generously and without withholding. And it will be given, that patience will come. But you must ask in an accepting, faithful way, without any doubt, because doubt will toss you about like the sea driven by the wind. And we've learned that we ought to accept that we will receive from the living Spirit that which we ask. And then it goes on a few verses later. In a way, there is a blessing when we are being challenged, because it always has in it a crowning joy. So let none among us say that I'm being tempted or challenged by the living Spirit, because the living Spirit, God, doesn't do that. And the living Spirit can't be moved by that which is wrong or, say, evil. So the living Spirit doesn't tempt anyone. But temptation comes from the human condition, from life itself, through clinging, to attachment. And when that is um, embraced within us, it leads to wrong action. So we can be carried away by our own attachment, or it says here, lust. So don't be deceived. It is not the way of the living Spirit. Because every good thing is from above, and by above it means high consciousness, meaning the living Spirit, and it comes to us, or it is in us, from that source of light. And here's what it says in the Bible: from which there is no variation or shifting shadows. Pure in its original state, undiluted, always the same. So this, you will know, my friends, everyone must be quick to hear, listen first, and slow to speak. Isn't that beautiful? And slow to anger. Why? Well, as one of my rabbi friends said, because the voice of anger is unreliable. You can't trust it. Wow. And in James it says, for anger in the human heart does not achieve the expression of the wholeness of the living Spirit. Those are my paraphrased words. So putting aside all things that are counter or wrong or bad for you, then turn instead to the Word, in other words, the truth of the living Spirit, because therein is the saving of our souls. And prove yourself to be a doer of your faith, a doer of the Word, and not merely one who listens, because somebody who just listens and then carries on the same will eventually delude, deceive themselves. Beautiful, beautiful chapter. A lot to think about. And so here is Dr. Holmes's meditation on that. Through divine intelligence, I become an outstanding individual. The fullness of experience is mine. I have no fear of taking the initiative. I do not limit the possibility of my future to anything that has happened in the past. I realize that I exist at the standpoint of limitless opportunity for self-expression. I am a center of consciousness in life. I am myself an individual, a person, a reality. I am one with life, one with people, and one with events. I have no fear of expressing myself. I do not seek to imitate others or live from the resources of anything other than my own nature, because all wisdom, guidance, and power is mine right now. I welcome the opportunity to live fully, freely, and joyfully. I accept the fullness of life in this moment. I believe in myself. Within me is the source of knowledge, of inspiration, and of guidance. I put myself and my cares in the hands of divine intelligence. I release all sense of worry and anxiety. I'm going to read it again one more time in an affirmative mood. Divine intelligence in me causes me to stand strong in my identity. And so the fullness of life's experience becomes available to me. And through that, I take initiative when it is mine to take. And I base my vision and my work and my action on that power that is within me. Today I stand at the middle of opportunity, and my self-expression grows from that. I am a center of creativity within the creative mind of the living spirit. I embrace my individuality, and I also embrace my oneness with all life and with all people and with all events. I have courage and I trust my ability to express myself. I express myself just the way that I am, and I live from my own nature, which is rooted in the living spirit. And from that living spirit comes wisdom and guidance, and its power flows through my energy. And I welcome the opportunity to live today fully, freely, joyfully. And I accept every good thing that comes my way, for I understand that within me is the source itself, the source of knowledge, the source of inspiration, the source of guidance, as it is in everything that is. So today, I put myself and my affairs in the hands of the living spirit, that its intelligence may guide me. And from deep within me comes a sense, a song, that all is well. And letting the next breath I take be deeper than the one before, I begin to let the movement of my body and lungs integrate my energy into whatever is next, feeling prepared from within, and taking this community of practices and practicers with me in the day. Thank you so much for joining me today. And again, if you are able to share this practice on Facebook or through YouTube, please do so. And I thank you in advance for considering that. Have a blessed day.